This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Support for MeowMix comes from Manscaped, who is best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Listen up, fellas. It's almost Christmas time. You want to clean up, give your wife or your girlfriend or your Tinder date or whoever a nice present for the holidays. Get that gentleman sausage nice and clean. The huevos as well. But you don't want to hurt yourself while you're doing it. Sometimes you nick a little huevo down there and you spill a little yolk. But you want to make sure that you're doing it the right way.
You never want to spill any yolk. That's why this revolutionary company, Manscaped, has redesigned the electrical trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your huevos. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower.
The Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0 also offers the Crop Preserver. That's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why aren't you putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body?
Yeah, and these products smell good. Their manly scent is attractive and will help set the mood for, well, you know what I mean.
This is the season to manscape. So get yourself, your dad, your brother, your friends, the best gift of all, the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BIGHEADS at manscaped.com. That's 20% with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use code BIGHEADS. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year.
Yeah.
Mrs. Claus, too. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Thanksgiving edition of the MeowMix podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And on today's show, we're going to preview
the Washington Redskins at Carolina Panthers game.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to jump in there, but that's okay. We're going to preview the game, and we're going to do a little bit of Thanksgiving fun, I guess. Oh my God. So I think where we're going to start out today is we decided that we were going to see how David Tepper might handle a Panthers Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we envisioned him inviting all the Carolina Panthers to his house for the holiday.
As he would, because he's a great guy.
Yeah, nice guy. And he has the main table. You also have the kids' table. We're going to talk about the players that are at the main table and what he asked them to bring to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so our thought here was, if you have a ton of people over for Thanksgiving, not everybody gets to sit at the big main table, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have offshoots of, the cousins over here, the aunts and uncles that, nobody really likes to talk to over there, and then, of course, the kids' table. So who's going to be at the main table? Who are the patriarchs, the matriarchs of the Panthers franchise at this point, really? I mean, I think that's kind of what it comes down to. So, I think we haven't really talked about who we've thought Tepper would invite. So I think we probably have a lot of overlap here. But let's go ahead and just kick it off with probably the easiest one that is going to be invited is Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, absolutely. He's on top of my list. He's at the head of the table, I even wrote. Yeah. Besides Tepper himself.
Yeah, Tepper's at the head of the table, but he's at the other head of the table.
Yeah, you know how you had the mom and dad?
Yeah. He's the mom.
And I think Tepper would ask him to bring the turkey.
That's what I have too,
Because that is the main course. You can't have Thanksgiving without it.
That's one thing that you can't screw up.
Yep, and Christian McCaffrey, he's so reliable. You can rely on him bringing the turkey, bringing enough for everyone. That's why we have him.
As long as Thanksgiving's not being held in Tampa Bay, you can count on Christian McCaffrey. I think another obvious one is Luke Kuechly.
Yep, I have Luke as well. Would you have David Tepper asking him to bring?
So I've got Tepper bringing Luke sweet apple pie.
Wow, that's surprising. I have pumpkin pie.
Okay, I mean, two pies that people love. Pumpkin maybe a little more traditionally Thanksgiving.
And that's what I was going with. I think Tepper would ask him to bring a pumpkin pie, apple pie, desserts, because, you got to end on a high note, and Luke does that. Luke, he's a high note.
Here's the thing, is everybody loves those pies.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
I mean, it just fits. All right, who's your next one?
I have Shaq Thompson.
Okay, he was not on my list.
Okay. He's a newcomer to the group, but I think with the defense, he's really led really well this year. And I have him being asked to bring the mashed potatoes and gravy. It's a great side item. Most people really want it. So if it was missing, a lot of people would be disappointed. But at the same time, it's not a be-all side dish there for
Maybe it's a little bit of a different mashed potatoes and gravy from years past, where Thomas Davis was the mashed potatoes and gravy guy. Now this is a little different recipe, still very good, just not classic, I guess. My next one, I had James Bradbury.
I do not have him. He was honestly on my last list between one of two guys.
He showed up a little late for you. Didn't quite make the main table.
Didn't quite make the main table. He definitely made that side uncle table, not the kids table. He's a solid guy there, but
he made the good uncle table.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I've got Bradbury. I think he's really another kind of newcomer to the main table list here. I think I've got him bringing some blackberry cobbler, mainly because I couldn't think of anything for James Bradbury to bring, and he's got Barry in his name, so blackberry cobbler. Another thing that people really like. But he's probably going to bring some better stuff in the future because he'll have a lot more money in the future.
Probably.
He's still on his rookie deal right now.
My next person was Gerald McCoy. With all the injuries to the defensive line, he invited Gerald McCoy to come on. That way they can talk about it. I have him bringing green bean casserole because he's vegan. So you had to go vegetarian on that.
Sure.
And he just, he's the leader of that defensive line right now, and that's why he's there.
Okay. Well, similar but not McCoy. I actually had him bring KK Short.
Okay.
And he brought the stuffing because that's the one thing the Panthers have been missing from the defense this year is run stuffing. So KK Short's bringing that stuffing. I thought he would still have KK at the main table. KK's still got a couple years on his contract. He's going to be a Panther for a long time, I think. So you got to bring KK to the table.
And KK's a fine one. And honestly, I was thinking about this year, not maybe next year and everything. I think between Gerald McCoy and KK, I would definitely go with KK over Gerald for the long run. But for this season,
we had different ways we approached this. I approached this more from just a franchise perspective and not necessarily just this year. All right, who's your next one?
My next one is Dante Jackson. Now, maybe not so much.
So Bradbury doesn't make your main table, but Jackson does.
There's a reason.
Okay.
Because Dante Jackson just got escalated up from the kids' table, but he needs all the veterans to keep an eye on him, so that's why he's on the main table.
I got you.
You don't want him acting like a fool when family's in town, and unfortunately, that's what a lot of times he does. And he asked him to bring cranberry sauce. It's a Thanksgiving staple, but no one really likes it. And you could just easily swing by any Jiffy Lube or any random restaurant or a grocery store and get a can for 98 cents. So
if for some reason Dante Jackson doesn't show up this day, it's now big loss. Really.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, my next one is DJ Moore. I bet he's on your list.
He is definitely on my list. Yeah. He's another up-and-comer who came from the kids' table from last year.
Yeah, DJ Moore. Now, this might be a little personal for me, but I've got DJ Moore bringing the corn chowder. Corn chowder has become one of my new favorite things, much like DJ Moore. I feel like corn chowder when I was younger just wasn't that good. I didn't have any real desire to have it. But now I love it. And DJ Moore, last year he showed some flashes, but, I could have taken him or left him, really. This year he's a must-have. So DJ Moore bringing the corn chowder.
We are actually very similar. I definitely do not have corn chowder as mine. I have sweet potatoes because I absolutely love sweet potatoes.
Okay, there you
and
go.
I think of Thanksgiving, I think of sweet potatoes. And in the future, I could see having sweet potatoes a lot.
Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah. Chowder. I like that. I just like the word chowder.
And
All right.
who's your next?
And then my next one is Greg Olson.
Wow, mine too.
Okay. Yeah, what do you have Greg bringing?
Okay. It depends on what your family is. I have the Hawaiian rolls or cornbread. It depends on what style your family goes to. But it's just
cornbread here.
Okay, see, exactly.
Yeah.
It's another staple for Thanksgiving. Solid. You need it to soak up some of that gravy. It's that cleanup bowl. You use it to clean up everything else and eat with it. That's what I got. Greg Olson is the old veteran that you love. You gotta have it.
I kind of went same sort of theme with old veteran. I've got him bring in a fine wine.
Oh.
Because I feel like that's sort of what he's aging as.
That's a good one.
He's definitely not the spry young man he used to be, but he's still getting it done. And wine gets the job done. All right.
And what is your last one?
So I've got two more.
Oh, I only have one more. Well, go ahead.
Did I miss one? Okay. No. So I've got two more. Cam. Like Cam was invited. Tepper loves Cam. Cam just did his big Thanksgiving feast for the kids. You can't think about the Carolina Panthers without thinking about Cam, even this year. Even though he hasn't been around, his Camness just is the Panthers. So I've got Cam bringing a kale salad.
Another vegan. Well, I didn't invite Cam because, again, I did mostly for this year.
Right.
I mean, any other year, Cam would have definitely been in there. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But my next person I have is Trey Turner.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason I have David Tepper bring in Trey Turner is because right now with Ryan Khalil moving on and Paradis not doing too well, he wants to talk to the main guy on the offensive line during this Thanksgiving. And that has to be Trey Turner. The veteran, he's getting paid a lot of money. That's why he's there. And he's bringing mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
I just see Trey Turner liking some mac and cheese.
He's a mac and cheese guy.
I like mac and cheese. Nothing wrong with that.
So I got one more here. And this is going outside the box a little bit. David Tepper has invited David Shaw to Thanksgiving dinner. Do you know who David Shaw is?
I do not know who David Shaw is.
David Shaw is the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal football team. David Shaw has been a long-time NFL assistant before he went to Stanford to be Jim Harbaugh's assistant, and since Jim Harbaugh left, has been Stanford's head coach. He's been very good there, not too good this year, which makes me think that he might be ready to move on. He coached Christian McCaffrey, so there's definitely a knowledge there between the two. And I've got him bringing a honey-baked ham because traditional Thanksgiving feast is turkey. This guy's going to bring something a little different to the table. He's going to shake things up. It's going to be a little crazy. I like it. David Shaw, welcome to the Panthers table.
I think you went on a huge ledge there. Not going. I guess you're going early on some of our earlier prediction or our future podcast for possible new head coaches.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. To be honest with you, he hasn't really done as well as Harbaugh did at Stanford.
He hasn't, but he definitely has a head or a assistant coaching background in the NFL on some pretty good teams, and I don't know. He's looked at as not a can't miss prospect for an NFL head coach, but certainly one of the top guys that's being looked at.
And I also have a problem. We're going into a realm of different, Thanksgiving topics, but he just runs a regular pro style offense too in NCAA. So I don't know. I'm hoping for more of an offensive visionary, but we'll see. And
We'll see.
mean, I haven't really done that much study on him either as well.
Well, I'm not saying that he's my number one pick, but he's the guy that when I was putting this list together today spoke to me.
Oh.
And I thought that this might be just an interesting topic of conversation.
Oh, nice.
Because let's talk about, before you gobble, let's talk about some notable exceptions from the Thanksgiving table.
Okay.
Most notably, probably, the head coach and the GM.
Oh, yes. I put them at the kids' table.
I don't even think they were invited. I'll be honest. I think Tepper's done.
I did too.
I think Tepper is done. Kyle Allen, not at the head table. Normally your starting quarterback would be at the head table. Now I've got Cam there. You didn't have any quarterbacks at your head table.
I don't think any of them are on the future. So
no special teams. I considered Pilardi.
Pilardi would be the only special teams player that I would put on there.
Or J.J. Jansen.
Or J.J. Jansen. I haven't seen any bad snaps.
Yeah, I think those two could have been. Joey Sly, I mean, is he even at the kids' table, or is he at kind of the cousin that nobody wants to talk to table?
That table.
Yeah, I think that's where he is now. I'm sorry, Joey, man. I'm so sorry. Who else notable didn't get an invite to the main stage? I mean, I didn't have Dante or McCoy.
Well, I put Dante in there, like I said, to keep the veterans, keep an eye on him.
I was shocked that you had an offensive lineman represented.
Well,
just as bad as that position's been.
You're absolutely correct. And the main reason why I put him on there is because he already is. He's going to be the anchor for that offensive line in the future, for now and in the future with Ryan Khalil gone. And David Tepper's probably going to talk to him, chew his ear off, and see what's going on with the offensive line during Thanksgiving.
That's true. I guess I was kind of looking at it like maybe a reward or,
Yeah, if you're thinking about it there, I definitely wouldn't put him in there. I wouldn't put... Well, the rest of the guys would probably come in there, but he would not be.
Maybe.
And I would probably take Dante Jackson out and put Bradbury in there.
Right.
If I was doing more awards style.
I was thinking you might need to butterball up James Bradbury a little bit. Butterball maybe he takes a little less money to stick around if he's at the main table.
That would have been a good, solid one. I just wanted to knock on Dante's immaturity a little bit online.
Oh, that's funny. It's funny. All right.
That's pretty much it for our Thanksgiving feast.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right. We're going to do a little bit of power rankings talk. This isn't a segment we do every week, as you know, but we are going to do it this week. Jerry, NFL.com Power Rankings by Dan Hansis. Where do you think the Panthers ended up after a loss, but a close one?
What were we ranked? 17th?
We were ranked 17th last week.
I think we stay the same.
We did not stay the same.
Did we move up one?
We did not move up one.
Okay.
We moved down one.
Oh.
We are now 18th. We are right above the Chargers. He says that this is going to be remembered as the Joey Sly game.
Yeah. That actually, I do actually believe that is a very valid point. I think 5 years from now, you could say, do you remember that game Joey Sly, our kicker, lost? And people will automatically know.
Yeah. I mean, missed 2 extra points and a 28-yard field goal.
Yeah.
So
he was the turkey last week.
Nice. Let's see. Well, there was a team that moved up 6 spots this week. Ooh. Any guesses who that might have been?
Oh, man, I don't remember the game.
AFC team. We have beat them this year.
Oh, Houston?
No. Titans.
Oh,
Titans
really?
all the way up to 12th.
Aren't they like 5 and 6?
They're 6 and 5.
And they're that high?
Yep.
Okay.
One team fell 7 spots this week. NFC team, we have not played.
The Los Angeles Rams.
We have played the Los Angeles Rams.
We did.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
All the way down to 20. Yeah.
And they're 5 and 6 too.
They're 5 and 6 as well. Yep. So Jerry, your representative from the NFC East in the playoffs is sitting 20th.
Mm-hmm. They're one game behind Dallas still. And I think they play them at least one more time.
Falcons dropped 2 spots.
Yeah, Falcons, where were you at the past 2... Last week, you looked so good against us. And the week before, you looked so good against New Orleans. But Tampa Bay, whoa. We're gonna go ahead and crap the rest of the season again. We just didn't want you guys to think we've given up.
Like when you run into that Tampa Bay buzzsaw. Okay. Tampa Bay, by the way, up 2 spots to 27th. I'm sorry, 1 spot to 27th. So, our opponent this week.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna guess they are 31st.
No.
Oh, no, they won. That is correct.
Win.
They probably moved up to 29 then.
They did move up to 29 from 31. From 31. The Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
And we will talk about them in one moment.
Woo! Segue!
Welcome to A Game of Two Scarves, the world's first footballing podcast, brought to you by the two great mates who just so happen to support the deadly rivals of Newcastle and Sunderland.
Each week we bring you a down-to-earth, informed discussion on our respective football clubs. Everything from post-match opinions to thoughts on who we thought did well, who didn't, and where we think the club needs to progress going forward.
We bring the odd guests along for the ride too, often from clubs outside of the region, so, as well as our own clubs, we do like to discuss the latest big news from around the world of the greatest game.
So sit back, put your allegiances to one side and enjoy the chat and humour of A Game of Two Scarves podcast.
She gets all my time.
And we're back. Before we get into our game preview, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping with current things going on with the Carolina Panthers. Dontario Poe might have tore his quad during the Saints game and most likely will be out for the year.
I believe I actually saw something that said he is definitely out for the rest of the year.
Okay. When I wrote this, it was still unconfirmed, but we also released 2018's third-round pick safety Rashawn Golden. He made a bad mistake during that punt return that caused that turnover, and he wasn't really playing safety that much, so I think they just got rid of him.
Rashawn Golden's career. Do you feel like that's a little soon?
Well, no.
Not even a full season after he was drafted? Or a season and a half, I guess.
This is what I'm going to say to that. He was a unathletic corner that they tried to move to safety. That obviously did not take because he seemed to be playing out of position, that we brought in Trey Boston to do that. And also, you never know. They could have actually put him back on the practice squad since he's still only on his second year.
Yeah. Usually if you're a guy like that and you're not really producing at your position, you need to be excellent at special teams. And he ran into our punt returner this week.
Yeah,
so
almost twice.
Yeah, and he caused a fight.
So, yeah. We also promoted offensive lineman Garrett McKinn from the practice squad. That is probably to shore up some offensive line issues we're having. Greg Van Roten is injured, and Greg Little suffered an injury on Sunday as well.
Shocking.
I know. He looks to be an injury-prone guy. I hope that's not true. But a little other last thing. The Panthers added a kicker, Greg Joseph, to our practice squad. Putting Joey Sly on notice, I guess.
Sort of?
Sort of, yeah.
Not really the kicker competition I was kind of expecting might happen this week.
Me too. But what decent kickers are out there right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably none.
Exactly. Now let's go ahead and move on to the game preview.
Before we move on, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do we need to go grab a nose tackle to replace Poe? Because we don't really have anybody on the roster that can fill that role.
No, because right now we're gonna run out Vernon Butler and Gerald McCoy as our starters. if we run the 4-3.
We kind of have to move back to the 4-3 now, right? We don't have a nose tackle.
I don't know. I'm really kind of at a loss. Do they want to win? I don't know.
This whole 4-3 thing was, or 3-4 thing was real.
The problem is anytime you run, change, or convert over to the 3-4, usually it takes a couple years to take hold.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that now. I don't know.
Turtles.
What?
I like turtles.
I don't know. Sorry. I actually hit that one by accident. All right. So anyway, moving on to the game. Sorry to interrupt you there.
So Washington at Carolina Panthers. Panthers enter this as 9.5-point favorites. So, woohoo! We should win this one. That is a really long one. If you haven't noticed, we're playing around here trying to work on our craft. Since, we're 5-6 and out of the playoffs, we're just trying to improve and have a little fun. Yeah. Now, the good thing is, Washington is last in total offense. They average 253 yards per game. Total. Only 167 yards in the passing and 85 on the ground. They average 13 points per game total.
Wow.
So when you're thinking offensive juggernauts, you think the opposite when you think of the Washington Redskins this year.
That's bad.
Now, they are starting a rookie quarterback. They went ahead and benched Case Keenum for Dwayne Haskins. And Dwayne Haskins has been playing a lot worse.
They benched Case Keenum because he was doing too good.
Yeah. Pretty much. He's only completing 54% of his passes, 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He's been sacked 17 times. So he likes to hold on to the ball a long time, too. Because Case Keenum played more games than him. I think this is a real opportunity for, our pass rush to really wreak havoc, cause Dwayne Haskins to up that interception ratio this week. I don't fear them at all.
I don't either. Dwayne Haskins is a bad quarterback and kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
As we saw last week.
Yeah,
So-
he missed the last snap last week because he was too busy taking selfies with fans where they actually had to yell for him and they couldn't find him, so they had to rush Case Keenum out there to take the kneel.
Yeah, they don't want to win.
I think they want to win.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. The organization probably doesn't want to win. The players and the coaching staff want to win.
I think Dwayne Haskins was forced upon them. They fired Jay Gruden. They're like, you have to start this rookie. We have to see what we purchased with our first round pick. And he's not ready. He wasn't ready. Honestly, would you take Dwayne Haskins or Kyle Allen right now to start?
I'd take Kyle Allen, obviously. But if I was trying to lose every game and draft one of those top quarterbacks, then I'd take Dwayne Haskins. Honestly. I know Dwayne Haskins just got drafted this year, but it feels like
he feels too raw.
It feels like if they're in one of those spots to grab, one of the top 3 guys, and they're obviously going to be probably a top 5 draft pick, they might pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Especially the way Haskins has looked.
Now, speaking of their offense, we do have to talk about their strength of the offense. Their rushing attack, ranked 27th in the league.
Not after this week.
Adrian Peterson actually was having a pretty decent season, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. But he only got in the end zone once. But they've gone more to Darius Guy since he's been back a couple weeks ago.
He's been back 3 weeks, and he's looked terrible.
Yeah, he's only averaging 2.7 yards per carry.
Yeah, he's not good. I didn't think he was good ever.
But again, this is a team that's looking towards the future.
Understood.
You're saying they're trying to lose. I don't think they're trying to lose, but I think they are looking. They want to get their rookies. They want to get the young 2-3 year players out there to see what they have.
So there's this thing called organizational tanking. where you play your young guys with the expectations that you're probably going to lose, but they're going to get experience and you're going to get a high draft pick. Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, talked about it a couple years ago. You play your young guys if you want to get a high draft pick. Well, regardless of whether they're not your best guys, you're playing your young guys because you expect to lose a lot of games, honestly. And I feel like that's where they are.
I think they also want to see where they're at. Maybe not where they are organizationally, but they need to see what's on the field. Now, speaking of a rookie that is the best for that position for your team.
Wide receiver
Terry McLaurin, third-round pick, has had a heck of a season. 40 receptions, 638 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's their go-to guy without any hesitation, and he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks like, I guess, a steal for them. I'm not sure where they drafted him. Do you know?
Third-round pick, that's all I know. I didn't write
Yeah, third-round pick. I mean, you get a guy that good in the third round, that's a steal. So, yeah, I expect Bradbury to probably shadow him all over the field.
I don't think he's a burner. I think he's more of a good route runner receiver.
He feels like Terry Godwin, or Chris Godwin, the Tampa Bay guy.
I see him a little bit slower, but I could see that comparison.
Well, I don't think Godwin is super fast, but he's just a really good route runner. He has great hands. I feel like that's what this guy is.
Oh, well, we will see. Again, I'm not fearing their offense that much. I think Terry McLaurin can maybe have some, but it depends. Bradbury could easily shut him down, too.
I mean, could this be the Darius Geis game? Or the Adrian Peterson, rollback machine game, where he comes out and rushes for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, the way our defense plays against the run, do you expect to hold them to 80 yards rushing as a team?
No.
I don't either. At all.
And they seem to want to run the ball, too. Not unlike other teams.
Because they got to keep the ball out of Haskins' hand as much as possible.
Oh, let's not do that one. Now, on defense, they're actually pretty strong on defense. This could be a symbol, though, of they're already down so much that the other teams basically run the ball, kind of chew the clock. Mm-hmm. But they're 11th overall in defense. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, they give up 369 yards per game for 11th. 22nd against the pass. And 28th against the rush. I don't know how that all works out, but yeah.
So they're 28th against the rush. So Christian McCaffrey is going to have a field day.
Averaging 137 yards per game. So, yeah, run Christian McCaffrey.
Run.
Yeah, run, McCaffrey.
Whoa. That's a nice little voice there. Funnily enough, they have a 0 turnover differential. They have turned the ball over and have turned the ball over exactly the same amount of times.
Well, that is an interesting step.
Same as your Carolina Panthers, actually.
Ooh. Yeah, I did also reach... I went and looked at Montez Sweat. He was their first-round pick this year, besides Dwayne Haskins. A lot of mocks had us drafting him because of his great combine skills. I think he had 3.5 sacks, nothing big. I think we definitely got a better pass rusher with Brian Burns.
Maybe. I mean, I think you're right.
You got to play him.
We haven't seen it the last several weeks.
He got a sack last week in one of his few snaps.
Yeah, he played I don't even know how many snaps he played. I haven't seen that report come out, but he wasn't out there a lot.
No.
Put the man on the field. Come on, Ron.
It's not like you were making the playoffs.
Here's the thing is, Ron, does he really care about playing his young guys? Because he wants to win. Because he wants to keep his job.
I think pass rush helps win. That's what I don't understand about
Maybe
that.
if they do move back to the 4-3 because Poe is out, then you're going to have to put Burns on the field, right?
I don't know, because Bruce Irvin has played well. and he filled in for Bruce Irvin on the first couple games. And Mario Addison has been playing well, too.
Yeah, but would you put Bruce Irvin or Brian Burns at one of those end spots?
Well, Brian Burns, I don't think has ever played with his hand in the dirt.
Yeah, you're going to have to do some weird...
Tweaking.
Yeah. This whole 3-4 thing just messed everything up.
Gonna run a 3-5 out there?
Maybe, or a 3-3.
Or a 2-5?
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. We'll throw Gerald McCoy and Vernon Butler there. Then we'll do Luke and Shaq in the back.
Oh my God. You remember a couple years ago when, like, was it the Steelers, I think? They just, everybody stood up the whole, like, for several games in a row. They didn't have anybody with their hand in the dirt.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, man. I don't know. So, I mean, obviously, we hope Kyle Allen comes out and has a good game. We expect DJ Moore to continue his good play.
Speaking of which, Josh Norman has been benched.
I saw that. He played special teams only last week. Because supposedly he has some sort of injury, but he was healthy enough to play special teams?
Yeah, and if you watch his special teams, they hike the ball, he gets out of his stance and turns to the sideline and starts walking away. He didn't even try. He is so upset with that organization and wants out.
I love it.
Yeah, he's gone. After this year, he's just gone. They can't keep him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's even good anymore or if he's just given up. Like, he doesn't even want to play for them. Because if you could bring him back here on a cheap deal, would you do that?
I mean, it depends on what we're looking at with Bradbury's contract.
Would you rather pay Josh Norman $3 million a year or Bradbury $12 million a year?
That's a good question. I'm going to say Bradbury because I think Norman's also 33.
Yeah, I think Norman might be done.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind bringing him back as maybe a reserve role backup. But you also got to think, too, what type of defense are we going to run? Because are we going to continue to run this zone defense that Ron Rivera runs?
Who's going to be our coach? Who knows?
The world is a mystery.
All right.
So let's go ahead and jump into some of our bold predictions. Bold predictions.
All right. I've got a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Sly is going to make 3 50-yard field goals in this game. And he's not going to miss a single field goal or extra point.
Okay. That is bold.
He is going to bang him this game, win his job back.
Well, that's funny that you said 3 50-yard field goals. Because that goes inside with my bold prediction. Christian McCaffrey will rush for 250 yards. That includes 3 rushes of over 50 yards.
That is bold. Rushing yards.
Rushing.
Not total yards from scrimmage.
Rushing.
Because I could easily see 250 total yards from scrimmage.
Nope, it's going to be rushing.
Maybe not easily see, but... So you think... I mean, could he potentially have 350 total yards from scrimmage if he gets 250 rushing yards?
No, I think we just dominate this game and we just rush.
So how many rushes do you think he needs to get to 250 rushes?
Well, I have 3 rushes for 50 yards each.
So that's 150.
150. There. So I need another 100 yards. And he probably could do that.
So like 7.
I was going to say about 18. 18.
Wow, really?
18.
Let me do the math real quick. That's a lot of yards per carry.
Yes. So what you need to do is do 15 or 100 divided by 15. Because that would...
No, I know how to do the math.
Okay.
I know how to do the math.
But that is my bold prediction.
Okay. Well, that is bold.
Now...
So unlike you.
And it's time for our beer bet of the week.
I like turtles.
All right. So,
We gotta stop playing. You've got to pull that back. Rein in the sound machine.
last week I won our beer bet of the week. I expect to do the same this week.
Okay.
I forgot what it was.
It's 3 interceptions for Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, that's right.
I am taking the over. I think we have 4 interceptions on Dwayne Haskins.
I'm taking the under. I think based on what we've said, they're going to take the ball out of his hands a lot, and I feel like there's just going to be a lot of running in this game on both sides.
Okay.
But I think we still get 2 interceptions. And in fact, he may even get pulled.
Yeah.
He may even get. They may be so pissed off at him from those antics last week that he comes out and throws 2 early interceptions. They're just like, screw you, man. And they put in Case Keenum.
See, I think they're going to be playing catch up most of this game, and that's where a lot of the interceptions are. Just because he's not ready for the NFL. He still needs time to season. Jay Gruden was right.
Yeah.
Where he didn't want to play him because he goes, he's not ready.
Jay Gruden, potential head coach of the Panthers
No.
next year.
No.
He's
I
available.
will be up at that stadium picketing.
He's available.
Picketing. I wouldn't mind him as an offensive coordinator, though. He was a pretty good offensive coordinator back in the day.
I don't want him anywhere near the team.
You know he's going wherever
He's
the
gonna
Raiders will
yeah.
be at next year.
He'll be in Las Vegas or
Yeah.
Oakland.
Probably like quarterback coach or something.
Kind of funny that we have no idea where they're going to play next year, right? I mean, that's weird.
I think it is supposed to be Vegas, but I don't think the stadium's going to be ready. I think they're
So they're
behind.
going to play like UNLV or something?
I think that's kind of up in the air right now. All right, so what is your score prediction?
I think the Panthers dominate this game. Panthers beat up on bad teams. We're just one of those teams that's not a great team, but we kill bad teams. And the Washington Redskins are a bad team. I expect us to put up 35 points this game, 35-14. I just think we kill them. Wow.
We have very similar scores. I have 30-13 Carolina.
Okay. You're not quite as confident as I am.
Well, I thought we would do the old Ron Rivera sitting on the ball.
Yeah, I expect the 14 points to come in the fourth quarter. I think they're just going to be dominating the entire game. Yeah, so this is our last show before Thanksgiving. So everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
And Black Friday. Save your money.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I usually like to go out on Black Friday.
Yeah, I shop at home.
I like to go out with the crazies.
You're one of the mob people.
I am.
That I like on Monday or Sunday, Saturday. I like look at all the videos of people getting trampled. I'm like, oh, there's Steven.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Except I'm the trampler, not the trampolee.
Stick and move. Oh, they look small.
Give me that tickle me Elmo.
Well, as always, we want to thank everybody for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. You can email any questions or comments to meowmixmailbag@gmail.com or leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast.
We will be back on Monday with our recap of hopefully a Panthers dominating victory. And until then, keep pounding.